What's going on, everyone? So I wanted to talk about Hinge releases today because I just got one in the mail a few days ago, and I'm super excited to talk to you guys about it because I have changed my shooting technique up, and it is night and day for me, guys. It is night and day, and I really believe it's because of this Hinge that I bought. I've been successful, other than doing some research and watching some videos, but the release that I bought is designed to really help you with your shot process, and I'm going to kind of go over that. Just a quick overview, okay? I've been shooting a Hinge release now for just over a year, and I've been through a lot trying to figure out how to shoot these damn things, all right? I think we all have. Everybody that's touched a Hinge release knows what I'm talking about, right? My first Hinge, the True Fire Seer, okay? This is Levi Morgan's release. It's a good release, guys. This is a really good release. It's got good weight to it. It feels good. It's solid, but obviously this is not a new release. These releases that I'm showing you, it's all old news, guys, but I waited to buy the release that I just got for a reason. I'm going to tell you guys why in a second. Back to the thing here. So I was shooting this for a while and I love it, but I noticed after 20 arrows or so, my set pins come loose. Okay, so I'm constantly fidgeting with this thing. I'm constantly changing my click, not because I want to, but because I have to. So nothing's consistent. So it's not helping my shot process, right? A few months ago, my buddy gave me this. I mentioned it in a video, I think, a while back, but I shot a buck with this a few months ago. This is an awesome hunting release, guys. Awesome hunting release. It's a Hinge release, but it has a safety on it, all right? This is a True Ball Sweet Spot Ultra 3. Again, it has a safety on it, and I knew I had to fix some bad habits, and this, if you go into shooting this with bad habits, this is most likely not going to fix them because of the safety. All right, it's not going to help you out. Just under a few years ago, I see a video on YouTube, and it was one of Crispy's videos. Huge fan of Crispy, man. I like his content is just awesome, man. He blows this archery thing right out of the water when it comes to, giving people insight. It's just, he's really good, So I saw a video of his advertising a Hinge release for UltraView, okay? That's this bad boy right here. This is the one I just got in the mail. Right, this is the Hinge, not Hinge 2, Hinge, right? I got the Hinge 1, yes. Old news. Why didn't you just buy the Hinge 2, right? Okay, listen. I bought this release knowing that I needed something that's really going to help me with my shot process. And I knew this because I know the design that went into these things was ridiculous. Like, they've measured hundreds of hands to get the hand measurements right. They've gotten hundreds of tips from pros to like design the sear system. Like, everything that you see on this thing, like every inch of this release has been thought out. Like, there is not one thing put on this that was not thought about, okay? Down to the thumb button, like everything. I saw that video and I knew I was going to buy this. But why did I wait so long? Well, one, obviously, price range, right? Like, you can't, Hinge releases are expensive. You can't find a Hinge on the market for under a couple $100, excuse me. So it's tough. And two, I really wanted to wait. I had a feeling that because this was their first Hinge that they released, and I had a feeling they were going to come out like, just like anything else. You buy a brand new car, you're going to buy it, but, some of them, they're going to have those issues. They got to work out those bugs, right? So I wanted to wait. And they did. They came out with a Hinge 2 and made it just the same thing, but better, right? This came in, and I got to work, guys. All right, I went online because my current technique for shooting a Hinge is drawing the bow back, anchoring, and then I'd relax my hand and I'd let the release rotate, and that's what would break the shot. It's an awesome way to shoot the Hinge. It's not the wrong way. It's not the right way. It's a great way to shoot a Hinge, but the problem is, guys, my shot, like, it wasn't consistent. Nothing was, I was taking way too long to break the shot off. Like, nothing was consistent. So something had to be done, and I knew I needed to buy a release. One reason, I will have to admit, was the money, okay? Black Friday came around this year. They knocked these things down to $100. So I had to jump on it, guys. And two, after watching a lot of reviews on YouTube, I found that the only difficult thing with this Hinge is this. This is the only thing people complain about. I clicked on another video and found that I can have an oral O-ring, throw that on there, and problem solved. I got a Hinge 2 for the for the price of Hinge 1, basically, right? The only difference supposedly between this Hinge and the Hinge 2 is that they have a magnet now, so it doesn't make all that rattling. And I think the adjustability, you can adjust the click, and then you can adjust the time from the click to the shot or something like that. I don't know. For an extra $150, I'm gonna get the same exact thing, just a little noisier. Sorry, I mean, I'll deal with the click. So with all that said, guys, before this came in the mail, I went right online and I checked this guy out. He does videos on UltraView, so you can find UltraView videos on YouTube and you'll find him. But I think it's George Riles. I think that's how he says it. And I apologize if it's not how you say it. But this guy is phenomenal, guys. All right, he has the most detailed and best advice when it comes to shooting handheld releases, and that's what I would recommend for if you're trying to figure it out. I watched a couple of his videos and I immediately fixed so many bad habits that I had that I didn't even realize I had. Like this is the Tesla of Hinge releases, right? According to all of the YouTubers out there, this is, as far as Hinge releases go, this is the Teslas, right? So I wanted to make sure I use this the way it's designed to be used. So I retaught myself. So now my shot process is draw the bow, anchor, but click as I'm anchoring, and then all I do now, instead of letting the release rotate, I start to pull through my shot, and then I almost extend my palm. You know, you almost do one of those, but without the movement. That's very, you know, I'm just trying to explain. Obviously, you're not going like this to shoot your bow. You know, it's very subtle. You know what I mean? And I'm finding, guys, that it is like night and day for me. It's a lot smoother. It's everything. My groups are a lot tighter. I don't have a random arrow that I can't explain. And obviously, guys, like, I do want to add that I do know that it is my shot process the issue. I went through my equipment. I know that it is not my equipment. I have came to the conclusion that the arrows that are hitting kind of funny are me. It's my shot process, so I had to fix it. So I just want to put that out there because I know there's 100 things that could be wrong if, you know, you got a couple arrows in the middle and then you got like one or two off. And like, yeah, I know it could be the bow, but it's me. I know it's me. What I was doing is, because I was afraid to punch myself in the face with this thing, I was drawing my bow way too cold, basically with my thumb and index, just pulling it back and coming to my face way too cold, and at the same time trying to put my fingers in, the rest of my fingers in place as I'm anchoring. You know what I mean? So like, it was a mess. Through those videos I taught, you know, I learned that, you know, it's best to have your fingers where you want them before you even draw the bow back, you know? And you don't want to draw the bow back with just your thumb, you know? You want to draw it back as usual, and that's what's beautiful about these UltraViews, guys. Just the design. It doesn't come with a thumb peg because you don't need a thumb peg, because it was designed so well, it lets you draw that bow back the way you're supposed to and have your fingers remain in place. So it's literally just the smoothest motion. Draw and bring that string to your face. This thing is bulletproof. You can't mess up. If you're not gripping it right, it'll let you know. Like, I first thought that this thing was too small for me because of how I was holding it, but it was my grip being wrong. You know, I was going way too deep, like I was saying. Well, that's where I need to be. Everything about the design is phenomenal. So if you do not have an UltraView, I recommend you going to get it. I can't speak for Hinge 2. I can't speak for the UV button, but I waited to get this, and I'm glad I did, and I can't see it being a huge difference up to the 2. So if you can get this thing for $100, guys, get it. And nothing against these releases, guys, but I now believe, because I've seen a lot of videos where people are saying if you're getting into Hinge releases, maybe a release with a safety on it would be good to start with. I now disagree with that. At first, when I would draw my bow and I'd come into anchor cold, because I was coming in so cold, I was having a hard time finding my anchor comfortably. You know what I mean? And so I would rotate into my click. When I drew my bow back, my back elbow, it could have been here, it could have been too high, whatever. So having that safety, I couldn't tell where my elbow is. But now that I have that click, I set my click up. So instead of drawing and then anchoring and then letting my release rotate to the click, see, I just did it. My elbow is way too far out. Now I draw, and as I'm anchoring, I'm also moving my elbow back, my back elbow back so it's straight. It's all one straight line from the tip of my fingers to the end of my elbow is a straight line. Draw, and then click, okay? So I'm bringing the string to my face and I'm also moving my elbow back. And when that release clicks, I know that my elbow is right where I need it. And that was causing me a lot of issues, guys. And I had no idea until I filmed myself and I watched those videos. I'm telling you right now, it's these little things that you don't even know that you're doing that a release like this is going to really help you out with, guys. This company did not just put this release together just to sell something. Okay? This company is run by a bunch of 20-something-year-old guys that are hungry, and I love it. I love it because they actually care about the people that they sell their products to. They care about the sport of archery. This right here, guys, I'm a huge Levi Morgan fan, but for the money I paid for this, these screws should not be loosening. Every 20 to arrows, whatever. That should not be happening. Well, especially for a $200 release. It's unacceptable. $100 release. And it's crazy. It looks so simple. Look, it's like just this little hinge is what you're pulling 70 pounds back with. Look, it just kind of dangles. Something that looks so simple, but so effective, guys. It's crazy, but anyway, guys, I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Check out UltraView, guys. I'm telling you right now, you will not be sorry. Check out those videos by that George guy if you're having any issues with your form, because I'm telling you, I couldn't find videos. I'd have to find a video here, find a video there, find a video there, and kind of meet it in the middle as far as getting the advice I need. But if you guys are in the market for a release, there is no question you guys need to go UltraView. I'm telling you, hands down. But anyway, guys, I hope this helps, and keep shooting and keep it fun.